actually reflect current realities. At this point, it is important to emphasize that this is not an indictment. Rather, it is a call to reflection and action, because awareness without competence does not transform a profession. Indeed, this concern becomes even more evident when viewed from a broader global perspective. In a recent professional, a colleague who had studied and lives in the United States expressed deep concern about the preparedness of many LIS graduates from Nigeria. He noted that while the foundational knowledge is often strong, there remains a significant gap in technological competence when compared to what is expected in more advanced and rapidly evolving information environments. According to him, this gap becomes particularly visible for international students outside the shores of Nigeria, who must operate within systems where digital infrastructure, data-driven services, and advanced information technologies are already deeply integrated into professional practice. This observation reflects a broader structural issue, one that underscored the urgency of aligning our training and professional development with global realities. Given these realities, the question is no longer whether technological skills are necessary. That question had already been settled. The more demanding question now is this: which skills exactly are most critical, and how prepared are we to acquire them? At this point, it is important to be clear. These competencies are no longer optional. They are rapidly becoming the new literacy of our profession. Today, technological competence has become a new form of professional literacy. In other words, it is no longer optional, like I mentioned earlier. It is essential to professional relevance and survival. The competencies on this slide are no longer specialist skills for a few people. They are now the minimum requirement for anyone who intends to remain effective in the profession. Library professionals must be comfortable with systems such as DSpace and COA, with institutional repositories, with metadata standards such as Dublin Core, and increasingly with data, artificial intelligence, and digital platforms. A librarian who understands metadata today is not simply organizing resources, they are making knowledge discoverable to the world. However, identifying these skills is only part of the task. The more critical issue, therefore, is how they are acquired. There must first be a deliberate shift towards self-driven learning. Platforms such as Coursera and edX now provide access to high-quality training. Beyond that, we must embrace learning by doing, developing repositories, managing data sets, and experimenting with digital tools within our universities. In my own institutional experience, efforts to organize internal research outputs have revealed both the possibilities and the existing gaps in building a fully functional digital repository. And this serves as a reminder that transformation is not an event, but a process that requires a sustained effort. Equally important is collaborative learning. Growth is accelerated through peer networks, mentoring, and professional engagement. At the same time, we must embrace continuous incremental learning rather than waiting for comprehensive formal training. Ultimately, the future library and information science professional will not be defined by what they were taught once, but by what they are willing to learn continuously. Naturally, this raises an important question. Are our educational systems keeping pace? If the profession is changing, then library and information science education must also evolve. Curricula must be updated. Practical technological training must be prioritized, and stronger connections with ICT disciplines must be established. Students must understand that formal education is only the foundation, not the entirety of professional preparation. At the same time, this transformation cannot rest on individuals alone. Institutions and leadership must invest in infrastructure, support continuous development, and create enabling environment for innovation. Libraries must also be positioned as strategic contributors to national development and knowledge economies. When we situate this within our own context, particularly in Nigeria and across Africa, the realities are clear. Yeah, there are challenges, very many, ranging from infrastructure limitation to funding constraints and even uneven access. Yet, there are also significant opportunities. We have a young and adaptable workforce, increasing digital adoption and expanding academic ecosystems. Therefore, we are not merely participants in global change. We possess the capacity to shape it. This also requires us to rethink how we define ourselves as professionals. The library and information science professionals of the future is not just a librarian in the traditional sense, but a digital knowledge strategist, a data-aware expert, a technology-integrated educator, and a research partner. This is not a departure from our identity. It is its evolution. And so the responsibility before us is collective. Professionals must commit to continuous upskilling. Students must take ownership of their development. Institutions have its responsibility as well. They must invest meaningfully. Leaders must create environments that enable innovation. As we continue this engagement, the goal is clear. Movement from awareness to action and from understanding to application. And so in closing, the question is no longer whether technology will shape our profession. It already has. The real question then is whether we will shape our place within it. Because the future of library and information science will not be determined by technology itself, but by how we respond to it. And in the end, it will not be those who observe change who define the future, but those who were prepared enough to lead it. And please let me emphasize this again. And in the end, it will not be those who observe change who define the future, but those who were prepared enough to lead it. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Professor Adefuke. That was really great. I want to see your virtual claps, participants. And let's appreciate her. While she started talking, she mentioned that we are moving from not just giving access in the library, but also providing context, interpretation, guidance. She talked about moving towards taking action. And when we do as library professionals, we are contributing to national development. So we do not just need to advance, to grow just within the libraries. As we do so, we are contributing to a very big goal. It's something bigger than us, national development. So we need to do what we need to do, take up skills, advance, grow, contribute to the library profession itself, and contribute to national development, which is very, very important. Thank you very, very much. For our participants, if you have questions, comments, please feel free to put it in the comment section. We will come back to you after our second speaker. Thank you very much once again, Professor Dimfuke. Thank you. So right now, I'll be calling on our next speaker, Shegun from Library Aid Africa. But before he comes up, I want to know if Mr. Sylvester, do you have something to say? after this powerful session?
Yes, I would like to stick to the time. That was a very powerful session, like you described. I only want to give a very short announcement. We notice a lot of people have been locked out of this meeting, but there is a link available. You can now watch it on Facebook live. We are now live on Facebook. So we're going to post the link in our WhatsApp groups, and we just hope that you are able to get this link. Please join us on Facebook and tell those who can join us here on Zoom to join us on Facebook. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. And so let's welcome Mr. Shegun from LibraryTech Africa.
Thank you, Peace, and welcome once again, everyone. Good morning. Permit me to stand on the existing protocol that Professor Adefunke has laid. So I'll just stick to the presentation so as to be able to save time. Please kindly confirm if you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Yes, we can, sir.
On slideshow.
Okay, thank you. So as the first speaker has spoken, she has already done justice to the whole thing. Professor has actually handled the whole thing very well. And on the other hand, I will be talking more around the essential tech skills and their real application. Now, Prof has made mention a lot about the gaps. She has made reference to how we actually need to improve as librarians and how we need to evolve also with the current evolving digital technology that's ongoing. So more of what I'm going to be discussing with us within the short possible time I have is we might be asking ourselves, okay, what are those tech skills I can actually acquire? And how does those tech skills actually come into play? How can it really be applied into the library services that I'm offering? That will be the question I know most of us will be asking ourselves. And that's what I'm going to be sharing with us at this point in time. So, sorry, from my end, I think the slide I'm trying to share is still loading. So, but before the slide get to load so that I can move to the next page, the question is all about, I know most of us have this idea of, uh, I'm tech savvy. I know how to use the Microsoft Word. I can use spreadsheets to like, do one or two computation to be able to like, maybe capture records of the resources that we have. I can use spreadsheets to be able to like do some simple calculation to know who attended, or who visited the libraries and the like. I know that most of us will use that sense and maybe, oh, I know how to surf the internet. I can browse. I can even use ChatGPT to like chat and do all the likes. And we use that and avenue to feel like, oh, I I think I'm a tech savvy. But Professor Adefunke actually make mention of this, and I will still be making mention of it again, that currently library tech savviness has actually gone beyond just knowing the basic tools. It has gone beyond knowing your normal basic tools. You can have a document where you can type, or you have Microsoft and the like. It has gone beyond that levels. There are other skills that we need to be able to acquire as library professionals. There are those skills that we need to be able to like scale what we know today and to be able to transform our current service delivery in the library space. So, and that's what I'm going to be sharing with us. so that we can be able to know, okay, what are those skills? There are a lot of them, but I will just be singling out just few that I'm going to be like highlighting those skills to us. And then we are actually going to see not just the skills alone, but how those skills are in application, how we actually make use of those skills. So sorry for the delay. Let me just share from my end. I know it's still delaying, but let me just see how I can share it from my end with, let me stop sharing at the moment and share it with a colleague of mine so that they can just present it. Probably it's the network. It's actually taking much time to load.
Or maybe we should take some questions for Professor Adefunke's presentation. Yeah, I think that would be the best thing to do right now. So please, everyone, please just raise your hand and let us know if you have any questions for Professor Adefunke. It could be a question, it could be a comment about perhaps the challenges, those bottlenecks that stops us from leveraging these emerging technologies in various libraries. Whatever question you have around the presentation we had, I think this is the right time to now raise your hand, and then we'll ask you to unmute your microphone and engage with Professor Adefunke. Yeah, I see Omosigo says Professor Adefunke's presentation was very informative. Yeah, that's true. So if you have any comments or questions, please, now is the time. Let's see if there's anyone. Okay. Any comments? Any questions? Okay, no hand is up yet. All right. Okay. Okay. Okay, Damilari, let's hear from you then. Or
Yeah, thank
Shegun.
you so much. Thank you so much,
Damilari.
Sylvester.
Yeah.
Sylvester, I'm going to try to share you Mr. Shegun's slide right now to your email, so if you can share on his behalf. So I'll share to your email right now. You can see that right now in your email. Great. Please confirm, Sylvester, should I share receive it?
Allah sa fa ban kofar message. Yalla abin shi minti biyar.
Sylvester, have you received his slide deck now?
Ina nufin kuma wani na kai
Sylvester, you can hear me. Have you received Shegun's slide deck for presentation? And Shegun, your hand, are you able to share your slide right now?
Yes, sorry for the delay. I'm still trying it from my end, but I can't really explain why it's not sharing. So it's either maybe someone assist or I try to restart my system and
Can you
okay,
see your
thank you.
screen and I'm sharing for you?
Yes, it's up now. Thank you. Thank you, Damilari. So let's just let's move to the next slide to save time, because time is it's fast spent already. So building on what I made mention earlier on, let's look at some of those tech skills that we can actually acquire. I was able to like just outline a few from what we can actually pick and learn and develop those skills. From what we have here, you can see we have things like the software engineering, We have things like the data analysis and management, and we have things like the digital marketing and outreach. We have skills around the digital and information literacies. We have skills around AI. Now, let me pause here and said these skills that we actually outline here, that I listed here, it's not just a random picked skill. We uh, had a research, and within the course of the research, we're trying to understand the gaps between library professionals and digital tech skills. And this research cut across about 19 African countries. And from there, participants who took the research were able to call out these skills as one of the things they would love to learn. Like these skills turn out to be like one of the top skills they really want to acquire. And there are other skills, yes, but this one has a way that they feel like it will, number one, make them stand out. Number two, it will improve on the service library delivery, how the service is being delivered across to the communities and across to library users. So going forward, I will be giving instances and real life situation on how each and every of these skills is applied. Damilare, please, you can move to the next slide. Thank you. So you might be asking, I make mention of these skills, but how is it actually applicable as a real life in the library space? Yeah. Now, this is a case study of Ada, and Ada is a software engineer. And I'm happy to say that females are actually diving into the software engineering, skills, because over time it has always been seen like, oh, this is a male thing. It's only men that do this, women don't do that. But a very good number of females are stepping in and are doing great. We know a lot of them. Even currently, our developer, she's a female. Now, that is to tell you how they are actually transiting. And this is Ada here, who is a librarian. And Ada in her library has always worked manually. Everything she do, from the recording or cataloging to the all the book circulation process, everything that she's doing in terms of the resources, in terms of the library budgeting, all is manual. Is either writing it on paper, or at most, the one that we feel like is digital is to key it in Excel sheet. But at some point, just realized that we can go beyond this in this library. At least we should be able to have a platform where even our users can easily use their phone or on their laptop. They'll come online. They will know the current resources that are available. They can even borrow online, and then they can come pick up. Everything should be done online seamlessly. As a librarian, I should just click one or two buttons, and the whole resource circulation process is done. So I don't need to stress myself. Now, looking at this, she now pick up that challenge to learn the software engineering. And after learning it, she was able to implement that in her library space. So you see how the software engineering can actually come into play when we are looking at the real life scenario in the library services. Let's move to the next slide, please. Hello, Damila. Yeah, thank you. So looking at this is Bolu. Bolu is also a librarian, but in this case, Bolu is a library AI specialist. Now, some of us might say, yes, I know how to use ChatGPT to prompt one or two, information and detail, and then yes, I'm already AI certified, but it's beyond that actually. Now, in the case of Bolu, Bolu just sit down and feel like every time to create report, I have to do it myself from end to beginning every month. And then they have a software platform, yes, which is good, but he still have to check through things up and down. And Bolu started thinking, can't I just use AI to come up with simple thing that I will just chat and say, okay, library assistant, can you just give me the report for this month? And then in a matter of seconds, the AI will bring out a clean report, giving a clear figure and detail of the library activities all through, ranging from the resources that was borrowed, the number of people that visited for that month, the activity that was done, the budget of what was spent, what was left, every single detail for that month. The AI in a matter of seconds will like generate it, and all you just need to do is a simple review to see what, if there is any error, and if there is none, it submits to the management. And Bolu just felt I should be able to do this. But how can you be able to do that? He picked up to learn that skills of AI and to be able to apply it in his library, in his workspace, and seamlessly is able to have his work going. So this is how AI can actually be applied, where with simple prompt, you can generate the result you want for your daily tasks without not having to click, drag, move, or write anything. So let's move and see other skills too that we can learn, and actually how those skills apply in real life. So Damilare, thank you. You can move to the next slide. Let's see, who do we have next and what can they actually do using these skills that I'm outlining. Now, good, we have Fatima. Now look at Fatima, our library data analyst. Yeah. Now, on the side of Fatima, Fatima had opportunity to a lot of records. Every day, she's writing down list of people that like attend events, writing down what was spent every day, a lot of records, a lot of data. And then Fatima just started asking herself, all those records, all those data we have, can't we like come up with insights that guide everything we do? In her library, at least we should be able to, with the data we have, we should be able to predict if we're having an event. We should be able to like know at least on an average the number of people that will be attending the event, so that will help us to plan properly. And then that move her to, going to learn the data analyst skill. And by the time she was done, she was able to like apply it to the libraries, see how she can like check through the data of previous recordings, and then come up with key insights on decision. Fatima was able to go to as far as, okay, looking through the library budget, see what was spent more, and she realized that, oh, we spend more on electricity, buying of fuel to like power the library. And then with what she was able to deduce is, okay, even the amount we spend on this electricity generation, it's something that if we can put it all together, we can even get like a solar system that can power the library, and it will become a solar library, hub. So with that insight from those data of what has been spent previously to now, and data of, okay, who have attended a previous or on subsequent events, she's able to like know all those things. So this is how this skills come into play for Fatima. And this is how she's able to apply it in terms of what? Of data analyst. As a data analyst, a library data analyst, she's able to like make use of it in the library. Let's see who is next on our slide, and what skill does the person have, and how does he actually like make use of it. Yes, this is Emeka. Eh? And in the case of Emeka, Emeka is a library digital and information literacy specialist. Now, Emeka is concerned about, we have a local community library where he works, but most of the people are not even digitally literate. And even the Emeka, he has not really known everything he needs to know when it comes to tech, like the basic use of tech tools, tech skills, digital skills. So Emeka feel like, okay, why don't we even see how we can even make this our library become a digital hub, that aside reading, people can come in, library users can come in to learn basic digital tech skills, like, okay, knowing how to like properly use the computer, your usual Microsoft, Excel, the one or two basic shuffle through the internet. And with that, urge and the need that Emeka saw, he decided to venture into the library digital and information literacy specialist. And by the time he was done, he was able to know a lot of digital tools and how they are being applied both ethically, and how he can use them in the library space. And he didn't just stop there. He was able to see how he can create that opportunity for others to come and learn, for library users to come in. Because one important thing that Emeka realizes, there should be something that is bringing people to the libraries. And for the fact that most people now have like the resources, the knowledge resources online, they feel reluctant. But now that they know that they are coming to learn something in the library, aside just reading, they started coming, they learn, they are able to borrow resources, make use of the resources, and then the library became very vibrant. The library became very active again. So this is how Emeka was able to use the library digital and information literacy skills to see how he can transform his library. So you see that most of those skills, they are ways that they are being applicable. Let's see the next person we have based on the skills that have been outlined, and then what can the person really do with that skills that he has. Now, this is Damilola. And Damilola is this person that she loves marketing, but she's in the library space. And then Damilola has been asking herself, we are in this library, even nobody knows we exist online. Nobody knows, we don't have any presence online. Nobody can find us online. Nobody can chat us online. Nobody didn't know that we even exist as a library, if not maybe the few people within the area. Can't we like have ourselves, have a social media platform where we publicize our events, where we invite library users for events, where we share thoughts about libraries and library users are able to like engage, where we orientate people online and create that awareness that will be able to bring people back into using that library space. And then that urge pushed Damilola into going to learn the digital marketing and outreach specialist. And by the time Damilola was done, she was able to like set up a very standard um, social media channel platforms for her library. And through that, engagement started. Other users started knowing about the existence of the library. When the libraries are putting on community events, people started showing up, people were turning up. The libraries became active once again. Why? Because Damilola felt that need of bringing the library out of where it is into like the digital world where people can know more about the library, engage with the library, and then that will draw them into coming to the library and having to make use of the library. So you see, it's not just the skill, as I make mention of, they are actually applicable in our day-to-day. It's something that Damilola can even use her phone to like come up with something and drop, and library users will immediately engage. And that will bring that community around the library space. And that will bring that synergy. People will see reason to like be interacting with that library. So that is one skill again that we are looking through based on how it's applicable. And let's see the next person that we have, which I think should be the last that I will be talking about. Yes, and this is Umar. Now, Umar is what? A library product designer. Now, Umar has over time, yes, they have the library platform, the online platform, but he felt like users are not really using that platform as it's supposed to be because either they don't find it easy using it or they don't know how to go about it. And Umar sat down and felt, I think all those things, there should be a much more easier way that people would like to use our platform, people would like to interact with our platform. I think we can even have like a mobile app strictly for our libraries, where with that mobile app, our library users can like access our resources. And that urged Umar to go in to learn the library uh, product design skills. And by the time that Umar was done, Umar was able to set up like a simple app that he designed, and then they gave it out to a developer. The developer like developed the app, and from there, the library had that simple app that their library users can connect with them, know what they have in the library, like borrow library resources, and they were able to like create that synergy that gives people reason, library users to come around to interact with the library and make the library much more vibrant. So you will see that over time, these skills actually have how they are transforming libraries. But the question is, how many of us are seeing it from this perspective, and how many of us are really making use of it? I know that Professor Adefunke actually spoke a lot intensively, calling out most of those skills and, creating that note, even showing us the bridge of the division of where we currently are and where we ought to be in terms of this digital age. So now let's move to the next slide, which I know it's going to be talking about, okay, yes, Shegun has actually made mention of some skills, talking about the um the software engineering, talking about the data analysis, talking about AI, talking about digital marketing, all those things. But the big question now is, um, how do I really acquire these skills? How do I get to go about it? It's not just discussion in this webinar and saying, yes, let's go and learn it. Yes, let's go and learn it. I have tried and I don't think I can really do it. I don't even know which platform to go about. Where should I start from? Who will be able to give me that guidance I need to be able to acquire these tech skills? Because Professor Adefunke make mention of it's not just enough to like know that we need to acquire these skills, but it's about us acting on what we have known and start making that move of learning that act. So towards that, it will take us to the next slide. Let's move to the next slide. Thank you, Damilai. So as at this point, I will be recommending a platform that we have built, and is a program that is currently opened that is called the LibraryX Africa program. And you know, as my colleague Peace made mention earlier on, she made mention of a lot of programs that we do and how we're actually creating impact. And solely how we work is seeing how we can leverage on digital technologies and community engagement, all to be able to transform libraries into viable spaces. So, and part of our program is this Library X Africa, because after we've done that research, we saw that need, we saw that gap, we now went ahead to get people who have expertise in those fields, people who have knowledge in those skills that I just made mention of, and see how we can get them to like impact librarians with those skills, giving like real life scenarios, putting up things together so that librarians will be able to learn these skills in details. So we are putting up the program to create that transformation we really want to see beyond just telling librarians, go and learn the tech skills, go and learn. No, but we have gone to the extent of getting people, creating that platform where all librarians need to do is, okay, see how you can sign up to that platform and learn all that you need to know, all that you need to learn. And the good part about what we're actually doing is you will learn through practical like experience. Just as you see, I was citing instances, right, of how those users I make mention of, those librarians, how they can make use of libraries. They're going to be having that same experience in that class. It's all going to be live. And the good part about it is this is a continental community that we're building. So it's not just Nigeria alone. We have people that also like around Africa. That's our plan. People joining from Ghana, people that will be taking the training from Sierra Leone, people from Benin. We're going to be having a lot. So when you're going to be like connecting with such people on that platform, you'll be interacting on a ground of not just a knowledge in Nigeria, but around Africa as a whole. Because our aim, our transformation is what is around Africa. But the good part is we have Nigeria, our big our big community to like leverage on now. And then also by the end of the day, you'll find out that the people that we are training will be able to like have this, they will be able to create this library innovation solutions that I've been making mention of. They will be able to have that idea. And for those that are asking, I know we have like the URL, and my colleague have also dropped that. The URL to the platform is here, where you can learn like full detail about the program, and you can also scan the barcode that we have by this side here. If you scan barcode also, it will take you to the LibraryX platform where you can have like a full detail. Thank you, Damila. You can move to the next slide. So let me just maybe I know some of us want to know how the program actually works. So I'll just highlight like the structure of how the program works for those who will have more interest and really want to go about it. So it's a 1 year course, because to actually learn that skills, honestly, is not what you can just wake up today and tomorrow you said you're an expert. It won't really work that way here. It's something that it takes time. So because of that, we space it across 1 year. And then also we factor the fact that most of the librarians that will really want to go for this course are people that are in the working class. And so because of that, we make it the first 6 months is an experiential learning phase where you have like a pre-recorded material to read at your pace. Then you meet with your facilitator every 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, you meet, and all those reading material, there are instruction guide on, okay, do this, do this. You try it yourself at your own pace. After 2 weeks, you meet with your facilitator. He guides you in any issue you have, you discuss. So after that first 6 months, you've tried it yourself, they've guided you. Then you have another 6 months to yourself where you can now run the practical. Create a project you want to work on, create a solution, create an innovation you want to solve, and then ensure that you solve it. You create that project, and then at the end of the day, oh, I'm able to come up with this solution, be it like a product you're able to like design, a an AI solution you're able to come up with. You'll be able to come up with something with guide also from your instructor. You'll be able to meet up with that. And I've made reference to like the live meeting that you'll be having with your facilitator. And the good part about it is due to the collaboration we are currently having with the Nigerian Library Association, we have considered as a team to like create this discount for you. So Damila, please, you can move to the next slide. Thank you. So we created this discount for you strictly to be able to like benefit from it. Now, and the discount is because you are a member of this association, we are giving you a discount code where the code will be activated this morning. So today, so by today we'll activate the code on the platform. When you key it in, it will give you like a discount of 30% on our application fee and also a 10% by the time you enroll for the program in full. You have access to that. And then not just that, the payment is actually flexible. The payment is flexible. It's we try to make it flexible because we understand the financial system around Nigeria and the likes. So we try to make the payment flexible such that you can pay 4 times instrumentally. You can pay like almost 4 times, depending on how you choose to split your payment. You can pay it like that. And I'm saying payment because actually it's not a free course. Yeah. To be able to put up something like this, I do tell people that on a very good day, because of how we work, we don't mind like giving the program for free. But the problem is the people that we're bringing on board to do that training, we have to like be able to remunerate them and keep things going. So that is why we like have to put this little token. If you go and check what we are charging against what maybe other a platform that will actually give you exactly or close to what we're giving, you can never get it at the offer at which we are giving it. So, but for this program, we're actually putting it up with this discount for as a result of the collaboration that we are having with the association. Thank you, Damilari. You can move to the next slide. And then here is my closing note. And coincidentally, it's should I say similar or close to what Professor also mentioned in our own. Yeah. So the truth about this is library is actually changing quickly. Yeah, more than we can think, more than whatever we can put it to. And at a daily basis, there's actually that need for librarians to actually learn these digital tools to be able to know more about data and also the technology that is evolving around the library service system. And there are many that are actually seeing that need and seeing that shift and are actually saying this thing is true. But the question is, you that you're listening to me right now, are you among those people that are really making that shift? Is one question that I would like to leave us with. Are you actually among those people that are making that shift of living the traditional way and moving towards the digital age that we are currently in now, the digital transformation that is currently going on, to see how you can learn that library tech skills that is currently like in existence and is transforming the library services? Thank you, Damilari. You can, I think with this, I've come to the end of my presentation, so you can move to the last slide. that like give more for those that will like want to contact us. I know that thank you for listening. I know there are some that want to like ask more questions, reach out. This is the platform here where you can be able to like get to contact us and know more about us. But it's not just about us. Once again, it's more about the skills. Why we are speaking here is because we don't just want to tell you, oh, go and learn the skills, and then how do we start from? Where should we do? You don't know what to do. And that's why we are here saying, yes, we know this is the problem, but we are here also providing the solution that you can leverage on. Thank you for your time, and thank you for listening. And I also have
Yeah,
my
thank you so much,
colleague on the call. Yes,
Shegun.
Damilare.
Thank you so much, Shegun, for that presentation. Thank you for the time taken to give that insight about the library tech skills that are available out there and how librarians should be able to apply to learn these skills. Like Dr. Professor Adefunke had said earlier, our libraries are changing, and we're also changing with them. All this comes to the upskilling ourselves as librarians. So I think going forward now, we're going to dive into questions and answers. And I want to believe that we have a lot of questions we want to ask the speakers today. We have two brilliant speakers. Professor Adefunke spoke earlier about a lot of context, and Segun Aletogbe also spoke just now around what are the skills we should be learning. And all these skills he had mentioned here have all been from research and evidence of development. At this point, we're going to open the floor for questions. If you have questions you want to ask, we kindly appeal that you raise your hand or you drop your question in the chat box so that we can take the question and discuss with you today with the audience. And also our speakers, it's time for us to get questions from the audience. So kindly put your camera and let's interact with the audience today. Thank you so much. I can see we have Hilary's hand is up. Hilary, you can feel free to unmute yourself and ask a question. Over to you, Hilary.
Okay, so good morning, and it's a pleasure to partake in this wonderful webinar. Thank you so much, Mr. Segun, and thank you so much, Prof, for these very enlightening presentations. I have a few comments, questions per se, that are related, and I think it's something that we have to look at holistically. Firstly, let me talk about the library aid program that Segun spoke about. I think it's a welcome development, and my question really is, I want to believe that the site, when we visit, or the knowledge we'll get there will be very practical, because there are several sites that we can actually learn from, and how to make it very practical is the main challenge in most of these cases. So, and I also want to, I think maybe I should say an appeal that as library aid, we should have scholarship too. As in, like, what I mean is full scholarship. I understand the fact where you said discount. Maybe we should talk to the NLA to help us have full scholarship for people who are interested per se. Maybe they can sponsor a few persons so that when they go back to their individual libraries, they can now domesticate this knowledge. It's going to really go a long way for us. And based on what Prof spoke about, you are in the academia, and there are lots of things I want to you to also take into perspective to see, because these jobs, according to what Segun was also saying, there are jobs he mentioned, library AI assistant, software, all of those things. These things are not categorized under the normal library jobs. For instance, like right now we have catalogers, we have indexers, these are the normal library roles. So what are we going to do to ensure that somebody who is delving into this field would be part of the library system? Because I think it's something cool. Like, for instance, I did my MSc in pure IT, that is information technology, and trying to even further, like trying to go back to library, like to do a PhD in library science, I get to find out that the requirements, they said I have to actually have an MSc in library science, pure library science. So it gets to put us in a form of a dilemma in a case. And I think something should be done in that case to help some of us who are actually trying to be tech savvy, to also function in the library. So my question basically there is the curriculum. How can people who are trying to be tech savvy, how can they be initiated or accommodated purely? And when you look at the curriculum of these LIS, it's more.
Mr. Hillary, we want to keep our question brief so we don't take a lot of time.
Yes,
we have questions also.
Yes. So in a summary, what I'm just trying to say is some of us are techie. The library doesn't seem to accommodate us per se. So what can be done by the NLA? What can be done so that we can have all of these views as Shego enumerated? Thank you so much, and it's great to be.
Thank you so much, Hilary, for this question you've asked. 2 questions you've asked. 3 questions. Number 1, you're asking about the practicability of the courses you're going to take on LibraryTech Africa. You're asking about possibilities of scholarship. You're asking Professor Adefunke about the discrepancies in having a master's in IT and not being able to do a PhD in library science. Great. Shegun, you can start with those 2 questions very briefly, and then we go to Professor Adefunke to respond to the last question. We're speaking, you're muted.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know that I'm muted. So, thank you, Damilare. In terms of practicability of actually the course, is actually something that we stand out for. That's why I can boldly say that we are different from maybe other platform you can give instance with. Yeah, everything that you're going to be learning will be tailored and related with libraries. Okay, for this is how you can apply it. This is how it works. This is how it works. That is just a straightforward answer to that, so that I don't give much elaboration. Yeah, and then for the second question, talking about the room for scholarship, at the moment, actually, there is no room for scholarship except discount. But since it's an open discussion, I think it's something that I will take to my team to discuss with. But you also made appeal to the president of NLA. So I don't know if maybe they will have something to say as regards to that from their own end, how maybe they can be able to like sponsor some librarians to be able to acquire such knowledge. But from my end, I will take it back to my team based on what you've said. But at the moment, for a straight answer, we are not offering any scholarship. We're only giving discount for now. Thank you. Back to you, Damilai.
Thank you so much, Shegun, for those responses. And to add to the question my colleague responded to, the payment is very flexible and a very minimal pay, so you can go through it and see how you can flexibly make your payments throughout the whole year without having to get a scholarship. This is a capacity development. You want to own the journey yourself and get to see how you can fund it yourself also within your own personal means, so your institutional support. Over to you, Professor Adefunke, as we are about to round up this session.
Hello, Shegun.
Yes, Sylvester, I can hear you.
I sent you a message. Please kindly attend to the message. Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Sure. Yeah.
Professor Adefunke, if you're speaking, we cannot hear you. Professor Adefunke, can you hear us? Professor Adefunke, can you hear us? We cannot hear you.
Did you? Yes, I can hear you, please. What was the question again, please?
So the last question he asked is that he did a master's in IT, but is unable to go for his PhD in library and information science. that's a discrepancy in terms of we trying to go tech savvy in the library space, but someone with a master's in IT is unable to do a PhD in library science. Is asking, what would you advise, and how can that be addressed progressively as an academia, actually?
Okay, thank you very much for that question. What I know is that for LIS education curricula, there are rules guiding mobility from one level of academic progression to the other. So for him who has taken a course in IT and is unable to progress further in librarianship, I think what he needs to do is to go back, have his master's in library and information science, then proceed. That's the way many of us went about it. I had my first degree in food science, and I had to go have a master's degree in library and information science. And that's how I think many of us went about it. So that's the way to go.
Thank you
I
so
hope
much for
I've
that
answered this
response.
question.
Yeah, hopefully Hilary will find comfort in the response she provided to the questions, to the question you asked, but hopefully we is able to find out patterns to address that. I know we have a lot of further questions to ask in this conversation, but however, colleagues, kindly drop your question in the chat box if we have further questions. At this point, I'm going to invite Sylvester in to take things forward now in the conversation today. Sylvester, are you here? I can see in the audience, no hand is up anymore for further questions. So my assumption is that we do not have any other question to ask today. Sylvester, over to you. Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you, Damilari, and thank you, our dear speakers. So at this point, without further questions, I say we have come to the end of today's webinar. And I would like to, on behalf of the Nigerian Library Association, express our sincere appreciation to everyone who have made this webinar a success. Before we leave, I would like to find out if our president is here. I know he has another meeting he needed to be in. But first of all, let me just say, apologize to everyone who have stayed extra time. We hoped to have completed this webinar long ago, but due to the network and technical glitches, it has extended to you now. So thank you for your patience and your understanding. So I'd like to confirm if the president is still here. If it's not, then I would give the announcement and then we can say bye-byes. My president, are you here? Okay. So let me just give the announcement. The first one is the link for the certificate of participation has been posted in the chat section. So please scroll up to see the link for the certificates. And also, I would like to say officially again, thank you to LibraryTech Africa. Thank you to Professor Adefunke. I don't want to pronounce the other name so that I don't make mistakes again. So, Prof, thank you so much I know how busy your schedule is, but you made time to be here today. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And thank you so much, Shegun, for those insights that you've shared with us. You've also heard the minds of at least the speaker that spoke from the minds of many librarians in Nigeria. And we hope that you consider all that in your development of the LibraryTech Africa. Thank you once again, Shegun. So looking ahead, these are the upcoming events. I don't know if you can see my screen. The upcoming events we have another webinar for the month of May. And that webinar is a 2-day, it's not a webinar per se, but a virtual workshop. Today is just a webinar. We brought experts to speak with us. Next month, it's a workshop. We're not speaking so much grammar, but then we are going to practical tools and all that. A workshop for those in the public relations sector, those in digital communication. So that workshop is for you. Then on the last month, which is what's it called? June, we have the final webinar. And that final webinar, it's an international one, one you may want to call a public lecture. The theme for that event is The Complete Professional, right? It's a webinar for all professional students, and we're going to be having speakers from Namibia, from Malaysia, from Kenya at that webinar. So let us plan for this event. We're going to circulate all this after now. So having said that, registration for the MENA 2026 conference is still going on. And those who have sent their papers, their abstract, now is the time for you to hurry up and then pay your processing fees and submit your complete papers. We look forward to receiving you all in MENA, not just as attendees, but as active contributors. So once again, I want to say thank you. And Damilare, thank you for coming through, anchoring the interactive session. Thank you so much. And I would like to say that we can all please have a great day. Thank you so much. So for those who are here, we may just do a group photograph. Let's see if that's possible. Yes. You can turn on your videos and then we'll take a group photograph. And unmute your mic, not to make noise, but to share your thoughts about this webinar, right? If you have something to say, you can say it now. Okay. All right.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Yeah.
It was an interesting session for the much I gathered due to network failure. Thank you.
Nice.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Good afternoon.
Thank you. Happy to hear from you.
The webinar is very interesting. Please keep it up.
Amazing.
Thank you so much.
Happy to hear from us.
Happy to connect.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. So I've taken a group photograph. So make sure you fill the form. I'm going to post the attendance form in our WhatsApp group. So please take care, everyone. See you next month for our next webinar. And bye.
Thank you. Bye. Thank you, Prof. And thank you.